everybody, welcome back to another Transformation Thursday. It's a series started by Melody at Transforming in Melody and Rhonda, aka Spanky Cola, as a way to share how God has been working with you and transforming you, because you can't successfully change the outside unless you successfully change the inside. That being said, come on in and see how God's working with me this week and what I learned from last week. Hello again. I am going to try very hard to make this quick, as we have a severe thunderstorm coming, and I would love to get this posted so you can see it before I lose power. So last week, God was working with me on flying solo, and with the knowledge that He would be there should I need Him. Newsflash, I needed that man all week. You know, I was flying solo with God's help. And no matter how grown up you think you are, sometimes you still need your daddy to hold your hand and to help you walk on whatever path you're on, or just plain to scoop you up and hold you. And I was in both places this week. Bad things happen to good people, and you are never always going to understand why. You are never going to understand what the lesson might be until much later down the road. But you can always know that God will bring that person through, as well as the people in their lives that were affected by whatever happened. Now, so I got the news early Wednesday from my mom that my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, that is very treatable, and we are aware of that. However, the doctors are not saying anything good at this moment. So we've got all the tests scheduled. We are going to be finding out exactly how bad it is. And at the same time, coincidentally, but I swear it seemed like this made everything worse. Coincidentally, my parents have been finalizing their wills and made me and some siblings, a couple of my siblings, executors of their estate. Now, I know that they had to do this. This is one of those things they have to do. But on the heels of having to go to the lawyer's office and sign those papers to get the notice that my dad has prostate cancer, and the doctors aren't saying anything good, really came crashing down. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I feel like, I knew my father had these tests. I did find out last Thursday or Friday that my father did have the test, because for some reason he wasn't feeling well. So it's kind of like God was whispering in my ear that yes, he had it, even before we got the test results. So I was kind of like preparing myself. And that might sound really weird, but it's one of those things that just I don't know, as soon as my dad said he had the test, because he wasn't feeling well, I knew. And so I've had a little time to think about it, but it didn't lessen the impact. And I spent a lot of time this week in prayer. I spent a lot of time this week sitting in God's lap, because he's this man has cared for me my whole life, and there's nothing I can do. but there's something God can do. And I knew that. I know that. And that's why I have been and plan to be still spending quite a bit of time with God. I mean, I spend time with him all the time, but more so lately. That has been my focus, is helping my earthly father by spending time with my heavenly Father. And that has been my week. And it will be the next few weeks. And while I knew the weeks coming up last week, I knew the weeks coming up would be stressful, but I had no idea any of this was going down. I had no idea. At the time that I was making the last Transformation Thursday video, I had no idea that my father had even had tests. So, needless to say, it's one of those things that this week reminded me that, yeah, I've grown in God. My relationship with him has changed for the better. It's gotten stronger. My time with him has gotten more consistent. But it doesn't matter how grown up you think you are. You're never going to be able to do it alone. I don't care who you think you are, how big you think you are, how much you think you know. You're always going to end up with the hand of God holding yours, having him picking you up and carrying you, and having him just pick you up and hold you, because it's the only way you're going to get through some of the things that happened. On top of that, we've had tragedies as a nation, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Like I said, the bad things happen to good people, and you may not even be meant to know why. You just may have to learn, and that's one of the things you may have to learn. You're never always going to have the answer. You're never always going to be given an answer just because you ask. But that doesn't mean that it's the end of things as you know it. This week, I think, is going to be another more or less flying solo week. God is kind of settled with the lessons, and is just there for me as I need him. And honestly, I'm grateful for that, because I don't think I could handle a lesson on the home front this week. So, needless to say, if y'all are of the praying sort, please add my parents to add them to your list. We do have tests scheduled for next week, and I don't know how much I'll be able to vlog next week. I honestly don't even know if I'm going to get a Transformation Thursday up next week, because tests fall on Wednesday and Thursday, and my presence was requested, so I will be there. I will try very hard to get a Transformation Thursday up next week, but if I miss it, I will try to pop in somewhere, somewhere during the end of the week. We have, now that, I've realized that all the things that God has been working with me past, and the Let God Fight Your Battles book that I have been reading has been, I really feel like has been to help me deal with everything going on right now. Because I can tell you that if I were still in a place where I was even 3 weeks ago, I would not be able to do this with any sort of strength. I certainly wouldn't be able to keep it together for my father and for my siblings. There's just no way. So I feel like my relationship with God has strengthened enough that I can get through this. Is it ever going to be as strong as it could be? No. No matter how strong my relationship with God is, it will and can always get stronger. And that will always get me through the things that I need to get through. So that's where I will be, is with God, for my earthly father with the help of my heavenly father. My earthly father, my papa, is not dealing with this well. He's not dealing with the diagnosis well. He's not extremely sick, just not feeling very good. But mentally, the diagnosis for him was a lot. And my father forgets, even though my father goes to church with me, he's so overwhelmed that he forgets to pray. He forgets to turn to God. So I'm doing my part to help him too, and to remind him. So God's going to get me through another week. God's going to get me through whatever comes. And we're going to see what kind of roller coaster we're going to ride. Can I tell you, I've never been a fan of roller coasters. So my goals this week on the spiritual side obviously are going to be spend as much time with God as I can. I also have, hang on, I need to find it. Okay, found them. I also got all these new, one more here, all of these new books to read. And let's see. They are two from Galilee. It's the story of Mary and Joseph. Her name is Woman. It's a Bible study called Believers: Lessons from the Woman of Powerful Faith. I've got Wanderers: Lessons from Women of Stubborn Hearts. Her name is Woman Bible Study. I've got Fearless Daughters of the Bible: What You Can Learn from 22 Women Who Challenged Tradition, Fought Injustice, and Dared to Lead. And back again. I also have Women of the Bible. I don't know if you can see this with the glare on it. There you go. I got that one too. And yet, believe it or not, I have another one coming. Ha! So, I am going to, one of my goals is to pick one of these as well to read. I currently have Woman, Food, and God going, and I kind of read that in fits and starts. It's not a devotional, it's not a like a Bible study, but it's helping me deal with certain things in a way I didn't really expect it to. But anyway, so I'm going to be reading Woman, Food, and God, continuing that, and I'm going to pick one of these bazillion books that I just got, and the one more coming in the mail. If it comes, I'll choose from that as well. And I'm going to start reading one of those. So I have a lot of reading too. I will let you know if I finish one. I will let you know how it goes. I will let you know if I like it and if it's worth it. Yep, so those are my goals. Always praying, Bible study, sticking with them, sticking to them. Top priority. Okay, guys, have a good week. I will see you hopefully next Thursday. Like, subscribe, comment, stop on by the channels. You'll never know what's popping out of this face. I tell you what, there's so much going on here right now. It's something different every minute.